About other stocks, and before we get going with the other movers, let's talk about the action in the primary market first. One of India's largest AMCs is heading to the primary markets for launch of an IPO worth more than 11,000 crore rupees via an offer for sale. Amundi and SBI are pairing 10% of their stake in the IPO that will open next week. My colleague Sajid caught up with Debashish Mishra, who's the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, and DP Singh, who's the Deputy Managing Director and Joint Chief Executive Officer. Let's listen into this conversation.
We traveled around the world and met a large number of investors, global investors, foreign portfolio investors, hedge funds. Everywhere, the India story is very positive. And when India story is positive, then our parent State Bank of India and also our AMC is also a positive kind of acceptance from all the investors. I'll tell you, the story around the world is India is continue to be an investment opportunity for the global investors. And they understood the way our network, SBI's distribution channels, and the way we have innovated the whole financialization in last couple of years is the biggest moat of the industry and biggest moat of our AMC in the country. Third thing is everyone looks India's growing investing population is also a biggest advantage for all the AMCs. So basically we are making the market. Like we might have competition, but the 51 AMC players and 1.4 billion people, we have a long way to go to cover up all the investable population. So these three factors makes us at a positive stronghold, positive footing to come with this IPO and make ourselves in the market to be more governance oriented and to be accepted to the shareholders and also to take it further.
Mr. Singh, your total quarterly average AUM is around 29 lakh crores. Of that, mutual fund average mutual fund AUM is around 12.5 lakh crores. And if you look at the retail portion of it, it's sizable for you there. How has been the retail participation for you with respect to mutual funds, and at what rate it has been growing for you in terms of number of unique investors which are coming in?
See, where the largest number of new customers are coming to SBI Mutual Fund. That is the last part of your question. Actually, when we looked at the data last year, the total number of KYCs done by the CAMs, our market share is around 15.4%, but 1/3, 33% of the new KYCs came to SBI Mutual Fund only. So we are proud of being the market makers rather than market sharers alone. So that's the kind of number. The number of new customers with us have always been more than 1/5 of the country. The overall market share is less than that. So that clearly shows the attraction amongst the retail investors is very, very high. And another barometer of the kind of trust which retail investor has with SBI Mutual Fund is that when we look at the numbers coming from robo, and the robo, where nobody plays any part except for the fintech platforms, there also our market share is more than, it's always in double digit, but higher double digit. And when you look at the products like gold fund or the passive funds, there our market share goes as high as 20-25%. So anybody who is taking a long-term bet, keeping in view the trust and reputation of the brand, so maximum number of new customers are coming to us only in the market.
I understand. Mr. Singh, nearly 96% of your revenues come from management fees, and in a market which hasn't been growing from, I'm talking of the index point of view, which hasn't been growing and not underperforming global markets. Yeah. Have you seen some kind of redemption pressures, or how has the investors acted, behaved for your funds?
See, I think you have to understand that there's a huge market. Redemptions are part and parcel of our business. And higher the number, higher the AUM, higher will be the redemption numbers. But the mantra lies in getting more and more new customers and getting more new business. if you look at it, though there has been market has not been doing well for the last 1.5, 2 years, in spite of that, our management fee is continuously going up. As you rightly said, the management fee on mutual fund business is bread and butter for us. But we are continuously saying, because of two things: one, growth in business, because of mark to market as well as net sales, plus the bringing in the efficiencies in the overall system. Because when your business goes up by 20%, your expenses don't go up by 20%, they go up by 10-15% only. So higher the numbers we make, higher the mark to market we have, that gives us higher leverage, operating leverage, and that's the reason we have been showing consistent growth in profits also for the last 4-5 years. And for the last 4-5 years, we are working in the same environment where the telescopic pricing is there, where markets are not doing well. And see, another example of today, whatever management fee we are making is much more than the management fee we were making when the market was at a peak of 85,000. So that clearly shows that the efficiencies and the scope scale is working in our favor, and it will continue to do that.
Understand, ma'am. Sir, actually, Mr. Mishra, if you can talk about the scale and the and the synergies that come in, as your scale increases, your efficiency and margins also increase. Talk to us about how you've been able to manage that kind of thing, especially the operating margin front, which has been going up. If I'm not wrong, it was 0.21% in FY24. It has gone up to 0.27% at the end of FY26. Can you give us a sense of how the scale is helping you improve your margins?
So, very good question. In fact, I briefly touched upon it. Look at the distribution network we have. I'll talk about the scale to the network. So, the scale is number of investable customers we have in our hand today. So, our parent, State Bank of India, has 530 million customers. Out of that, if you take the, let's say, bottom of the pyramid or maybe the financial inclusion BSBD accounts, we still have around 330 million customers which are investable range. But how many you have in our AMC now? Only 5.5 million. So less than 2%. So less than 2% customers of SBI unique customers are having either some SIP or some lump sum investment with the mutual fund. So look at the scale, you can go up. And while I told the total numbers, let me also tell you how you can reach to them. Another parameter, another number for to remember, SBI has a digital platform called YONO, a digital banking platform, which already has 120 million customers. Already adopted YONO as their financial transactions and all their routine banking activities. So 5.5 million we have, they already reached to 130 million customers. So then we have to go reach there, at least the digital customers, to link digital SIP, lump sum investment with YONO customers. So then when you link digitally, our operational cost comes down. So margin improves. The third piece of discussion today, right now, our digital offering is almost about 90% of our transactions. But we want to make it 99%. Through our Invest app, our own proprietary app for investment, through a digital solution called Mitra for our facilitators, for our IFAs, for our agents, for our branches. And also we are developing a whole lot of digital base, the base core software called Alto, which will be supporting the front end as well as back end. So more and more we become digital, the operational costs will come down and margins will improve. So both scale and digital combined together will help us in improving margins in future.
Mr. Mishra, if you can also give us a sense of the kind of, you enlisted how you can, synergize with the parent, combine both this, apps, YONO and your Invest app together and, bring in the synergies there. When do you expect that to happen, and how will it play out over a period of time? Is there a timeline that you have for the integration? Because there are KYC issues also which are separate for mutual funds and banks at this point in time.
Yeah,
how do you do that?
You brought the right piece in discussion. See, we are ready with YONO. We are ready with our Invest app. We are ready with the integration also. We are already doing it. those customers who are having a folio, they can seamlessly do a SIP, SIF, or SWP, or start SIP. They can stop SIP. They can increase the amount. They can switch the funds. They can participate in FO. So that is already there. What you mentioned is the KYC part. I'm very happy to tell you that both the government and SEBI have been working very sincerely in this development, and I'm sure we quote from a published address by senior officer of SEBI that in 2 to 3 months' time, the KYC piece is also resolved. So then there will be a seamless journey of any customer, any bank customer, to come to mutual fund area. And when that happens, as I mentioned, we have 120, 130 million YONO customers who are already digital, already have a bank account, already have a KYC compliant account. We can seamlessly bring them to our fold as investors. So that will be a kind of exponential increase once we solve this KYC thing. And I'm sure I have a trust in the whole process. In 2 to 3 months' time, it will be operationalized.
Mr. Singh, today the bread and butter is a mutual fund, but there is a non-mutual fund portfolio also which you have at this point in time. How do you plan to expand that and grow that?
Yeah. No, that's going to be a big growth engine for us. If I name it today, we are already making around 150 crores revenue out of non-mutual fund business, which includes our international business, which is around $5 billion, which is the highest in the mutual fund industry today. That's one part. And we are having a separate, now we have a subsidiary in Gift City. And I'm very sure that Gift City will be the, again, largest within that, and we are already having outbound, inbound fund. We have got an outbound fund going on, which will be investing in a fund of Amundi, which is a very best performing fund. And we have an inbound fund for our focus fund. Then we have a long short fund, which is there. Today, because of some teething troubles, some gray areas in the taxation side, the numbers are muted, but the kind of commitment which government has towards the Gift City and the way things are getting put in